I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be first date chemistry and conversation. How to tell if you really got chemistry with a girl, and also the kinds of things that are good topics and how you should go about having conversations with a woman on a first date so it creates attraction and you can ultimately either seduce her that night or in the next 2 to 3 dates that you have with her. I've got an email here from a viewer, and he says, "Hello, Coach, and I got a question. I'm still new to this stuff, and I'd like to know more as to what appropriate questions do I ask on a first date. Should I ask a girl about religion and family? Since you said you should ask a girl questions and listen carefully, as well as paying attention to body language and interest levels, sometimes I just run out of things to ask." Well, here's what I found. The more you like a girl and the more fascinated you are by a woman, you never run out of things to ask. Now, what I found is the only time I run out of things to ask is once a girl starts talking and I get to know her. Because what I do personally for a living, being a life coach, I can size people up in a matter of seconds. And so I'm extremely picky. And because I'm an alpha myself, the women that I date, I like to date women that are also alphas. High achievers, successful, very attractive, used to getting what they want. They go for what they want. Those kinds of things. And if I start talking to a girl, I'll give you an example. I went out with a girl this one time, and this happened to me numerous times, but this is how a typical scenario goes. I really liked a girl. She was really fucking just breathtakingly beautiful. Just fucking unbelievable fucking body. And so we hang out on our first date, and we start talking, and then, I was asking her what she does for a living, and what she majored in and stuff like that. And so she had graduated college several years before, and this particular chick, she worked in a restaurant, and she was a bartender, and it was a nice high-end restaurant. And what I liked about her, and she just had a lot of spunk, and she had no problem busting my balls when I was chatting with her, and I liked that in her. But when we sat down and I started talking to her, and she started explaining to me what she went to school for and what she majored in, why she wasn't working in her field, that kind of thing. What I realized was, and then I found out that she was getting counseling, and she had a bad relationship that had ended recently, that she was on medication. It's like, oh man, it's like, so all this fucking drama is going on. And when you start talking to the girl initially, you don't know those things, but it's like you don't learn that stuff until you're on the first date. So I started talking to her, and it's great having sex with a beautiful woman like that. Don't get me wrong. I love pussy just like the next guy. But sitting there and listening to this girl tell me what's going on in her life and like her worldview, and especially like we started talking about politics, and I saw and she shared with me what her worldview is, and it's just, quite frankly, wasn't, how should I say, it wasn't evolved, at least to the level, at the way I look at things in life. And so we didn't connect on that level. And so after a while, I was initially really into this girl, but after hanging out and chatting with her for about an hour and a half, I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get the fuck out of there. And it just turned out that she just wasn't what I thought she was. Had I spent a little bit more time talking to her when I met her, I would have found those things out, but I liked her personality enough from what I saw from the get-go that it's like once I sat down, I really started talking to her, and she started telling me about herself and her life and her goals and her dreams and where she's going in life. And she's just another typical beautiful woman who basically has a broken spirit, and it's just she's not strong enough for me. She's the kind of woman I would get bored with, and I got bored with her after an hour and a half, and I don't need to go out on 5 dates with this girl and sleep with her several times to figure that out. After talking to her, like I said, for an hour and a half, I realized I just wasn't into her. And then just like you realized her, it's like I started having a hard time coming up with things to ask her, and because I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere, and I wasn't that into her, and then so I ended up ending the date, and it happens sometimes, and so you got to be objective, and you got to look at it, and when you haven't gone out on enough dates with enough really beautiful women like that and rejected enough beautiful women like that, it's like you're on the date, and the reason you're running out of things to talk about is because you're really not fucking into the girl. You're just thinking, I want to get in her fucking pants. I want to get some pussy. I want to fucking hit that ass. that's what you're thinking about. But at my age and with my experience, all the relationships I've had over the years, if a girl's boring to me, I don't want to go any further. That's it. It's enough for me. I know what I'm looking for. I don't need to date it 10 times. But like I said, someone that's just starting out and doesn't have all that experience yet, the thing you got to realize is that when you really like a girl physically, but you're not really connecting mentally or emotionally, that until you've rejected enough women like that, a lot of times you're still going to want to hang around. And I can't fake it. I can't fake interest. When I was younger, I could do that because I was still interested in her. I was just interested in the pussy, and I was interested in having a good time and forcing myself to entertain her and make her laugh, so I could ultimately seduce her later on. But it's like as soon as you sleep with a girl like this, she gets emotionally attached. She starts blowing your phone up, and you really don't want to ever see her again after that. But like I said, that's what's going on here in your interactions and why they're not going very far. But the thing is that you got to pay attention to those things, and it's only until you've dated literally dozens and dozens and dozens of women and interacted with them that you're able to see these things. And then therefore, when you're on a date with a chick like this the next time, either you do a better job pre-screening her before you ask her out, or instead of going out on 2 or 3 dates and ignoring the fact that you really don't have much chemistry with this girl, but because you're so physically attracted to her that you want something to happen physically between the two of you. Like I said, it just comes from being objective. And when you don't really have a great time with a girl, and here's the flip side of that. You end the date early and you say, hey, it was nice meeting you, I had a great time, but I got to run. And you hang out and you have a drink for an hour, and then you have no intention of calling the girl ever again because she just was a lame date. And then 3 or 4 days go by, or a week goes by, and then she texts you or she calls you and just wants to say hello or want to see if you wanted to get together. And you think, okay, well, hey, why don't you come grab a bottle of wine, come on over to my house for dinner, we'll make dinner together. And she can come over and you just go for it when she comes over and seduce her, and then send her on her way, because that happens a lot too. And what happens is the next time you see her, you have a lot more fun with the girl. Why? Because her interest has gone up, and now she's trying harder to keep the conversation going. I've had dates like that, but like I said, if you go on a date and it just kind of sucks, don't call a girl again and just walk away. And the interesting thing is that maybe a week later, if the girl really liked you and she hasn't heard from you, when she does call you, her interest has gone up. And so if you do decide to go out there or see her again, just have her come on over and hang out at your place so you can see her. So you don't have to go anywhere or spend any money on her like that. But since she's reaching out to you, she's chasing you, she's pursuing you. And the great thing is, the next time she sees you, she's just that much more into you. So if you have a question, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen, and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max. And just give me several days to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, which I highly recommend, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, there's a box that has a link that will take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page. And once you get there, if you don't have a Kindle device, just download one of their free e-reader apps for your smartphone, tablet device, or your computer. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these video newsletters and the articles on my website and my ebook, you can show your appreciation by going to my website right now, and on the Wibia toolbar, which will be at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.